biggest fitness myth that just won't die. Story 1. When people don't want to lift weights because they don't want to be super muscular, you have to specifically try to get big, and it's very difficult. You're not going to end up looking like a bodybuilder because you get under a barbell once or twice a week. Story 2. A more recent one is needing like 300 g of protein per day. I've talked to numerous PPL doing that while entirely avoiding carbs. It's miserable and unhelpful. Story 3. I'm a group fitness instructor for active older adults. You're not going to lose weight just by exercising. Exercise is important for your circulation and mobility, but you can work out all day long and not lose weight unless you change your eating habits. I used to teach 11 fitness classes a week, and I was the heaviest I'd ever been in my life until I started keeping track of my calories. I didn't realize how much I was eating every day until I actually saw the numbers. I lost 50 pounds last year counting calories, giving up some of my classes and doing my own workouts. Story 4. No pain, no gain. I've had people look at me in disbelief when I tell them that they can get their exercise by walking outside on a beautiful day and listen to music or podcasts. Any activity is better than none. It doesn't have to hurt to be working. It needs to be something that is sustainable. Story 5. A misplaced decimal point. In 1870, overestimated the iron content in spinach by a factor of 10, and Popeye was still dining out on it over a century later. Story 6. That if a woman picks up a dumbbell heavier than 5 pounds, she'll accidentally turn into the Rock. I've been trying to get as swole as possible for 6 years now. You can't really tell all that much. I'm a woman. Story 7. That other people in your gym are constantly looking at you and judging you. Your weight, your form, your attire, and your hair. This myth is the indirect cause of huge amounts of unfitness by scaring people away. Reality is that nobody got time for all that exhausting when there's work to do or walls to stare blankly at my personal fave gym activity. Story 8. Once you stop training, all that muscle will turn into fat. The fact I've heard this from people who really should know better is not just baffling, but disturbing to say the least. Story 9. Not so much fitness, more nutrition. Don't take 500 g of protein a day. You aren't getting jacked, you're getting fat. The body can't magically process incredible amounts of protein towards muscle development. The excess turns TO, fat extra aminos, are excreted through. I know benefits. Story 10. You know what? In the poster child for this, it's complicated. So my thyroid broke when I was 19. I gained a bit of weight when I didn't know what was going on. I went on meds and I stopped gaining weight, but I could never, ever lose the weight. A few years pass, happens, and my thyroid gets taken out. I have energy I haven't had in years. I eat super well. I join a gym, get a personal trainer, doing everything right. I could go down some pant sizes, but the scale doesn't move a pound. Then I have an embolism. Essentially womp womp, things go bad, muscle goes away. I spend 2 years catatonic. I don't eat. I spend 2 years in bed not moving, but also not eating. I'm living off of maybe 1 bagel a day, vitamin water, electrolyte drinks. Sometimes someone gets me to eat a meal periodically, but food makes the headaches worse. So I don't like to eat, still the same weight. No change. Everything is pointless. Nothing matters. I'm 37 now, and the same weight I was at 19. I still have the same clothes and wear them because jeans are jeans, and if they aren't ripped, why not? I've had endocrinologists tell me if my TSH is within normal range, it's calories in, calories out. So I must be getting calories somewhere, Now, go back to school if your thyroid is weight can be. Dietary cholesterol raises your cholesterol levels. Being fat is a moral failing or makes you less worthy as a person. Story 11. That if you aren't losing weight, you're not working out hard enough. Plagued me for years. I gained about 30 pounds after surgery, started lifting again and tracking what I eat and drink. The scale has not changed in over 6 months, but according to my doctors, I am far healthier than I was a year ago. Story 12. What's actually naturally achievable in terms of building a muscular physique. Kids still think those roided out bodybuilders on Instagram are natural. Story 13. The timing of food or workouts. Pre-workout. Post-workout. Look, just eat and work out when you can. Those other things are not going to make any difference. Story 14. Higher reps tone the muscle. Lower reps with heavier weight makes you bulky. You can't tone a muscle through reps. You can grow a muscle and then lose body fat through a deficit, but that isn't toning it. You just grew it and got leaner. Your rep range doesn't matter. Story 15. That working out makes a significant difference, when the reality is that when you stop pushing food into your mouth, you will start losing fat. All the working out effects are secondary. At best, the primary and first order effect is simply not consuming as much by an order of magnitude. Story 16. That you can slim down if you just start going to the gym. I think that losing weight always should start with your diet. That's the most important aspect of any weight loss journey. Story 17. Lifting grunting ache is bad for your knees, backache. No, it isn't. You're built to move. Do you think pain would happen if you didn't do any of those things? People can do more for longer as they age if they remain active. Story 18, that you can look just like most of these influencers by just buying my program and grossly overpriced supplements without steroids or at a minimum TRT. Story 19, YouTube advice. My joints, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, bones, and food intake are not exactly universal. Listen to your own body and be very selective toward your approach if taking suggestions. Story 20, that it's 80 diet and 20 exercise. The percentages are dependent on your lifestyle amongst other things. You can still have a great body with an average diet. Story 21, that you can get six-pack abs just by doing a lot of sit-ups and crunches. Those will help build your muscles. But you won't see those muscles unless you supplement that with a good diet. The saying six-pack abs are made in the kitchen really does hold true. Story 22, so many calories don't matter. It's all about insulin. Steroids don't help that much. It's all about hard work. A training program that works for one person works will 100 work for everyone else. The best time to consume protein is in the anabolic window. You can only utilize 40 g of protein. You need to train to failure to build muscle. Whey protein is bad for you. Soy protein will make you into a soy boy, whatever that is. Story 23, working out for longer better. I cannot tell you how far from the truth this is, and people say it constantly. Not good to stress your body past the point of progress. Story 24, the idea of good or bad calories. A calorie is a calorie regardless of the source. Good calories still count, like there are differences in nutritional content, and some food will definitely fill you up more. But if you eat 300 calories over your limit, you will gain weight, whether it was fruits and veggies or McDonald's. Of course, you should eat healthy food that makes you fuller for longer, but weight loss is purely about calorie deficits. You technically could lose weight just eating fast food you'd feel like and likely be deficient in vitamins. But you'd still lose as long as you were running a calorie deficit. I wouldn't recommend it, but you'd lose weight. Story 25, that the BMI scale is fallible. It was made to fit the curve. So yes, the majority of people will be placed right, but it's not for everyone, specifically extreme athletes, but they usually don't worry about it anyways. Story 26, not sure if this counts, but the whole 0 ag of protein per lb of body weight or lean body mass. For starters, why are we using both metric and imperial measurements? And how is anyone supposed to know their lean body mass at any given time outside using a fancy weighing machine? Story 27, the biggest fitness myth is probably no pain, no gain. While a little discomfort is normal, equating pain with progress can lead to overtraining and injury. Smart training is about balance, proper form, gradual progression, and adequate recovery, not constant suffering. Story 28, that men whose living depend in large part upon their bodies, athletes, actors, fitness gurus, etc., aren't using roids or similar PEDs. The overwhelming majority of them absolutely are. And yes, that includes your favorite actor who says he got ripped in 3 or 4 months by cutting out bread and doing plenty of crunches every day. Story 29, bench press is better than incline bench. Biceps make your arms look better. Upper body workouts makes women look bulky. Glute workouts are for girls. Only workouts must be an hour-long rest days. Make you weaker. You need creatine, carbs, and fats. Are bad. Running is the only way to do cardio. Cardio makes you lose weight. You have to increase the weight every workout. To progress, you lose all your progress if you take a long rest. Story 30, that it's okay to eat more because you're exercising and gaining muscle mass. If you gain 10 kilograms, 20 pounds of muscle mass, your TD will only increase by about 100 kilocalories. Not only it's hard to gain that much muscle mass, the increased caloric expenditure is negligible. This is one of the greatest myths in weight loss. People also like to hide behind the afterburn effect, or EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or oxygen debt. During EPOC, the body uses oxygen to restore muscle glycogen and rebuild muscle proteins damaged during exercise. This is only significant for high-intensity exercises and increases energy expenditure by about 10 to 15. So if you exercise hard and burn 1,000 calories, that's a negligible increase of 150 calories. These myths are so damaging because they create a diet licensing effect. Fat people are fat because their hunger feedback loop is damaged, be it for hormonal, psychological, or many other reasons. When someone thinks, hey, I can exercise more and eat more, what ends up happening is they burn 200 calories and eat 1,000 calories for a net gain for 800 calories. This is the main reason why there are so many fat people exercising and they never lose weight. This is a great list of weight loss myths that I really like. Story 31, no pain, no gain. Russia has the best wrestlers in the world, and they rarely push themselves past 70 during training. Overexercise causes you to rip muscle fibers, which then take days to repair. A more gradual regimen allows you to exercise every day with the same muscles and achieve more farmer strength. There was a good talk on Joe Rogan. Story 32, everyone needs to eat a certain way. Things like you have to have 8 glasses of water, or you must eat a certain number of servings. It should all be based on your body and activity. Story 33, the 8 ounces of water. 8 times a day, 64 ounces total recommendation is a myth. The actual amount of water a person needs varies based on factors like body size, activity level, climate, and overall health. The National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine provides more evidence-based daily water intake recommendations. Men about 7 liters 125 ounces, or about 15. 5 cups. Women about 7 liters 91 ounces, or about 11. 5 cups. This total includes water from all sources, including other beverages and food. Watch your pee. That's all. It needs to be regular and generally clear to pale yellow, darker, or more infrequent. You need more water, frequent, and entirely clear. You may be overhydrating. Story 34, weight loss starts at the gym. I can't tell you how many people I've known who decide they want to lose weight, and their first step is to join a gym. Please wait OFF this decision. Those memberships are ironclad because they know a lot of people join and then give up soon afterwards. Joining a gym should come later, after you've built up a routine that works for you, and you may realize you don't need a gym membership to exercise. Story 35, that being fat is healthy both short and long term. Calories in out, don't lose weight. Those two are the biggest insane copes in the industry right now. Story 36, lifting huge amounts of weights super quickly won't make you huge. A lot of young guys I see going to the gym rushing their sets with the machine maxed out and using their whole body to move the weights instead of lowering down their weights, using correct form and slow reps. Story 37, how much protein you need. Yes, there's a max amount, but if you don't hit it, you're still going to make gains. It's going to be okay. Lifting weights will make you bulky. Wrong. Lifting weights under certain programming can make you bulky, but this doesn't just happen. It's actually going to make you sexy AF. Targeted fat loss. Your body will lose fat all over eventually. Just keep going feeling like you have to completely cut sugar. Sugar is bad. You shouldn't consume it, but it's in everything. Be okay with just trying to consume less of it. You'll lose weight and it'll be okay, and you won't also be a complete nightmare to be around. We sort of all need a little bit of sugar. Feeling like you have to life every day. If you lift 2 to 3 times a week to build a habit while you get into the groove, that is exactly what's needed, especially right away. Lifting to failure every session. Depending on your goals, you might never have to go to failure. Do what your goal requires. Feeling like you need a gym, you can go really far with a set of dumbbells or a kettlebell in your living room. Not working out because you don't know how, or think it's boring, or don't want to be sore. Find something you like and do it. Go on YouTube and learn. Knock it off. I don't have time to work out. You can work out for 30 minutes, and if it's effective programming, that's perfectly fine. Knock it off. I can't work out because my get creative. You can do something, do that, knock it off. Story 38, one talking about weight loss. We should be saying fat loss. Yes, in very obese people, a lot of it is also fluid loss that accompanies the fat loss. But muscle loss isn't helping anyone, nor is extra weight from muscle hurting anyone. It's really fat percentage relative to lean body mass that determines fitness in this regard. Someone who starts with an LBM of 150 pounds plus 50 pounds of fat is 25 body fat. If they lose 30 pounds, but half of it is muscle, they'll only be down to 20 body fat. If they lose 30 pounds of pure fat, preserving all their muscle, they'll be at 7 body fat. 20 versus 11 is a huge difference in terms of how fit they will look, feel. I've done both before. Your body will cannibalize muscle in a deficit if you don't do resistance training, get high protein, and get enough rest. Or if you make your deficit too steep, try to lose too fast. Calories in, calories out is true for weight. But how much of that weight is actual fat versus muscle is something you need to be deliberate about. Do you really want to put in all that effort to lose 30 pounds and find out you're only 5 lower body fat instead of 15 lower because you wound up losing 15 pounds of muscle in the process? 2, that some foods are healthy or not. This really isn't accurate. There are some things like trans fats and alcohols that are basically poisons and never healthy. But most foods are just a packet of macros, calories, fiber, and micronutrients. Some are more nutrient-dense than others, of course. But in the end, it's diets overall that are healthy, not foods. If you've already met your needs for protein and various micronutrients for the day, and still have room in your calorie, budget eating a cookie or cake or a donut or candy bar to get that remaining energy isn't bad. There could be some worry about insulin spikes on an empty stomach, I suppose. But even then, it's not that these foods are intrinsically unhealthy. You just maybe have to dilute them in your stomach with some fiber at the same time or something to slow absorption. Foods are just various combinations of the basic main nutrition components. But what matters is your daily or weekly totals of all the components. not how they happen to be combined or proportioned in any single delivery packet. 3. That celebrities get fit by working with a trainer 8 hours a day. No. They're either on steroids probably or achieved it naturally with good genetics. But either way, they aren't working out 8 hours a day to achieve anything. Training is not linear like that. You can't and shouldn't just add more hours of training and think that means more faster results. It doesn't. The body only needs so much to stimulate adding or maintaining muscle mass. And it needs quality rest in between, or you'll hurt yourself or burn out and lose strength, not gain anything. People split things different ways. There are ways to do 5 or 6 day splits. There are ways to work out just 3 times a week. But anything more than 1 to 2 hours at most per non-resting day is only going to be counterproductive. 90 minutes 3 times a week, or 1 hour 5 times a week, people get maximally fit bodies without much more than that. And it takes as long as it takes. There's no natural way to cram the process into a shorter length of time. If someone's results seem crazy, either crazy fast or crazy big or crazy lean, it's not, because they've crammed in crazy amounts of time training volume in a short time span. It's probably just because they've added steroids. Story 39. That exercise is a quick way to lose weight. I water fast. I have lost 80 pounds. Not a single exercise have I done. Should I exercise? Yep, but it is not necessary for weight loss. Just drink water 3 days a week. Story 40. You have to eat healthy to lose weight. You literally just eat less calories. I just lost 12 kilos in a few months just from eating less. I still get takeaway for lunch every day. I drink soft drinks. I eat ice cream. I eat whole blocks of chocolate in one sitting. The trick is eating healthy usually means there's less calories in the same amount of food, which makes it easier to reduce calories. I have people turning blue in the face when I tell them it doesn't matter what you eat when losing weight. Story 41. Oh man, where do I start? Waist trainers don't help you lose weight around your midsection. It acts as a corset that molds your body. Same thing with the sweatbands. Sweat is a mechanism for your body to cool itself. Sweating in your midsection doesn't burn fat. Jury is out on blood flow restriction training and its results, but it does show to be effective in some cases. However, untie the bands in between sets. You're going to give yourself a blood clot. Don't fall for the trick of doing the crazy you see from influencers. You're going to hurt yourself, and it's wildly unnecessary to boot. Story 42. I was watching a YT video where someone was getting in a hit. They actually said that their fat was literally turning into muscle. How can anyone still believe this nonsense in the day of the internet? Story 43. People laugh at you when you go to the gym first time. No, we don't. We don't pay attention, and if we were then, we're taking a break between sets, and it's more absent-minded looking. We all want you there. Story 44. The idea that you can spot reduce fat by targeting specific areas with exercises like doing endless crunches to burn belly fat. It's just not how it works. Fat loss happens all over your body, not in one spot. Story 45. Protein doesn't make muscle. Essential amino acids make muscle. Same with collagen. Eating collagen doesn't make collagen. It makes amino acids, which then make collagen and everything else. Also, protein utilization is the key, not protein consumption. Story 46. That lifting low weight high reps tones your muscles. There's no such thing as toning. You either gain muscle mass, or you don't. You either lost fat, or you don't. Story 47. You lose weight with exercise. BS. You lose weight by keeping your hands away from your mouth. Exercise make you healthy, of course. In theory, you can lose 3 to 4 pounds a week through exercise. Just have 9,000 push-ups every single day. All it takes is 4 to 5 hours of push-ups every single day. More like 6 or 7 hours with breaks. So unless you're training for special operations, you ain't losing any meaningful weight by exercise. Story 48. Lean muscle versus bulky muscle is not a thing. Muscle is just muscle. It might look different due to body fat percentage. Grinds my gears when people advertise fitness to women and say it will help them build lean muscle. Story 49. In general, there's a belief that Mexican food is inherently unhealthy, but specifically, there's a lot of people who think things like salsa and guac don't count as eating a small serving of veggies because somehow chopping veggies makes them not veggies anymore. Story 50. That women will get bulky and look manly if they lift weights, like a woman will lift one weight and put on a bunch of muscle. As if people don't spend years meticulously meal planning, counting macros, and lifting heavy to gain that kind of mass. Story 51. Kind of relevant. My partner asked about the effects of cortisol on fat loss. My reply was eat more veggies, try to get more sleep, reduce stress levels in your life, drink more water. No need to start tracking cortisol levels, not even sure how you would track that at home. Story 52. Most of these celebrities are natural. They're almost all on steroids. Zac Efron, The Rock, Chris Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman, all on PEDs. There's an obvious difference between natural muscle and unnatural muscle. And I'm someone who doesn't care if people outside of sports use PEDs. What I hate is when they lie about it and say things like, yeah, bro, just waking up at 4 a.m. and working out, hard work and determination. Story 53, that sport is healthy. For all the people that have died just today, there's a good chance that some of them were into fitness, weightlifting, the lot, but they're dead. Point proven. Also, it can be an entrance to CrossFit. And man, does that turn you into a major pain in the... Story 54, anything about diet and calorie types when losing weight. Your body gives zero. You can eat whatever you want as long as you're on a caloric deficit. You might not make considerable gains in strength, but you will lose weight. Story 55, certain exercises will give you longer, leaner muscles. This is related to the spot reduction thing. It will give you more muscle. Genetics and the length of your bones will determine how long those muscles are. Lean is a function of fat loss. Story 56, no pain, no gain. Pain often comes from overexertion. Hard exertion is good, but young athletes often think more pain is better. Unfortunately, many find out years later that they did too much too quickly. Joint, ligament, and tendon damage are examples. Story 57, you can't outrun a bad diet. You literally can. Check out the dude that ate 3 Costco chicken bake a day for a week and walked 10 miles a day, also had soda and beer and lost 2 pounds. Story 58, you need to exercise to lose weight. You could literally lay in bed all day and do nothing, and you would lose weight. Exercise is not at all necessary. Story 59, 10,000 steps per day is still marketing trick from Japan promoting a step counter. It's not based on anything. Study shows that 7,000 steps per day is enough. Don't add unnecessary stress to your joints. Also, 1 to 2 hour walk is not same health benefit as doing multiple 10-minute something that rises your heartbeat. Summary, heartbeat up keeps heart pumping longer. Story 60, lifting weights a certain way and eating lots of protein will give you large, superhero 3D delts. Sorry, that's either genetic or the person is on steroids. You could get some amazing definition if you cut your fat percentage, but the second you put on a shirt, they'll disappear. Story 61, using just Stairmasters. I hate them. They don't do much. You can walk 10K steps a day or do weight training or even 100 crunches a day or etc. and you would be better off. Story 62, that you have to restrict a specific macro when dieting to lose weight. Not talking about contest people bodybuilders. I'm talking about the dude 50 pounds overweight trying to get in shape thinks he needs to eat nothing, but steak cause Joe Rogan said it made him feel swell. Story 63, well, I only eat healthy, but still I don't lose any weight. Well, hun, eating a whole package of nuts a day doesn't make you lose fat, calorie counting does. Story 64, you can eat anything as long as it's within your macros. I'm not sure who started this, but it's impossible to out-train a bad diet. Even if you have David Goggins level willpower, you won't make the same gains as if you ate clean. Story 65, genetic freaks don't exist because science said so, and a bunch of dipshits lie to claim they're clean when really they are not. But there's 7 billion people on this planet, and no one can do the impossible because science said so. Story 60, sick BMI. It was invented by a mathematician based purely on white middle-aged men, and yet lazy doctors and insurance companies continue to quote it like gospel for every gender, race, and age. Story 67, raw eggs will max your protein. Not unless they become cooked eggs, and the protein chains form in the white, making it white. Instead of clear, your body can't get anywhere near as much protein from raw egg as it can from cooked. Story 68, you can do all the abs workout you want, you'll never have a six-pack unless you drop your body fat low enough. Mr. Six-Pack on TikTok is selling clicks, not good advices. Story 69, these various diets all work around the same construct. By forcing a caloric deficit. It's simple math. If you burn off more calories than you consume in a day, you will lose weight over time. Story 70, running is bad for your knees joints. Like, yeah, it can be if you do it wrong or don't use proper sufficient gear. But is that not true of all exercise? Recent studies have actually shown that running strengthens knees, prevents osteoarthritis.